Just Express. Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom, right? And shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marky Satan, and I'm already stuttering. I've been working this whole morning. I almost skipped it. Phone was off. Had to make a payment. Didn't warn me. Turned off all my notifications. Wondering why my phone wasn't working. I've been here for like the last hour, just wanting to show off the Las Vegas Valley. It's a little bit cloudy. There's a little brown and yellow stain over there. Some dust or some pollution, but I wanted to get a break from it, and be like, why are you like that? Why are you like that? Why are you like that when you always complain? Why are you like that when you can't see the positives in things? Why are you like that when you can't speak the way you really feel? And that's how it is, It's got to be done. And no matter how much work you do or how much you help, people are always going to have a different perspective than you. And that's why this is about mental health. Let's get into it, shall we? Saints Addiction. Skull caps are $10. Jesus, Mark, you know how to talk. I talk all the time, just talking over myself. My brain moving so fast, got shit to do. Woo! Fired in the mouth. Woo! Things start moving so weird, and I was like, why am I like that too? If I'm in anxiety, I don't move as freely. If I'm in stress, obviously, like most people, it's not going to work out to the best of my ability or the way that I wish it to. And I keep wanting to show up the best that I can. That's the whole point about being sober and being healthy and having these things happen, is that you can not fuck up your own ship, not drill holes in your own canoe, not fuck up your own shit, but live past it. And that's what we're hopefully going to get this morning's marijuana motivation at Saints Addiction. Just talk about, why are you like that, dude? Why are you the type of person to be sharing your struggles with people? Why is it that misery loves company? Why is it that when you start to get stressed, you want to blame others? Why is it that when you're frustrated, you start to fight? Why is it when we're hungry, we get frustrated easier? But then you're having these conversations with me inside my head, the way that I think, and say, oh shit, it's like that. A lot of that's like that when you have people that, like, in your life where they don't want to take responsibility for their own decisions or their own mental attitude or accountability at all. Odds are they'll probably share some frustration with you. Things ain't going your way, not making any money. I get it, bro. That would frustrate me too, and it does. And sometimes, like when my phone was off this morning, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Y'all didn't even text me that my bill was due. You just turn off my phone, and then I don't get no mobile hotspot. So then now you're gonna credit me, but you're not gonna turn my phone on. Okay, let me go turn my phone on. Let me get rid of that headache. And then you realize that there's always gonna be a headache. There's always gonna be something to challenge you. And life's challenges keep it not being boring. If it was just so easy, and I know most people want to pray for an easy life, pray for all the money, pray for all the family, pray for all the love, but you got to earn it. You know what I mean? If it was given, it's not exactly like it's, if it's gifted, you don't feel like it's earned. And then if it's not earned, then it's just a gift. And those things are like presents. They can be given back. They can be re-gifted. They can, shared like it's Christmas time. It's almost like that fruitcake that used to go around. Everybody, didn't I just give this to you last year? Yeah, you gave me that complaint last year. Here, let me hand you a complaint back. And that's what it'll be. You'll find people that, I know one lady at the apartment building, she's a mom. She always got her hair so nice. She always takes care of her kids, and she's always so friendly. I'm like, how? How can she do it? How can the Hawaiian guy that's always shooting the basketballs when I'm walking usually so happy? How is it that people that are so poor from the third world country, and they're out there, it's cool seeing the jet fly over, I don't know if you can see it all the way, and they're out there fucking smiling, and I was just like, look at me trying to chase Ferraris. And what Ferrari would pay for all their housing. And then I realized what extravagance happens, how we tend to think that as long as we have money, right? That we purchase bigger cities. We buy apartments instead of owning homes. And then it gets further away from owning a home. Then you don't own any land. And now you don't have any vegetables because you got no land to plant on. And now you got to be in the system to go buy groceries over here and pay for corporations to feed you. This is a very deadly system. Just like you said, it insults the American intelligence. This kid for the insurance guy, they caught him and he's screaming. Valedictorian, comes from money, parents own multiple businesses, great smile. Why are you shooting people in the streets? Anybody can be reached. Anybody can be frustrated past the point. I don't know what kind of pain he was under, but like, damn, bro, how many families have you seen where they were like, man, my grandma's got cancer, or they're not getting my dad's pension, or keeps fining me every which way. You know, I went past the cop and I'm like, do these guys even bust up? Like, all they look for real criminals, or do they actually just come here to ticket people? And this is where it is. It's like, you're just serving people. You're not protecting people. And now you get Saints Anarchy, because that's just not real. You really think that you're keeping people safer by making sure they have registration and insurance and a driver's license? Did they forget how to drive? How often do you need a license? You know, every 10 years? You know, and these things become redundant. They become part of a system that doesn't pay anything forward for all of us to alleviate these symptoms, right? It's kind of funny how they feed us the shitty food so we have shitty health. We have shitty health insurance. And they want to know why people are getting shot. You want to know why? Too much is too much, bro. Why are you like that? It's because they get frustrated. And then I've learned that people yell when they're frustrated when I was a kid. That's why I'm like that. And then you go, oh shit, I've inherited some bad traits, you know, not just because of genetics, but because of psychology. And that's when I'm like, oh, that's why you're like that. That's why you're like that when you shut down and you don't want to face anything. You just want to ignore problems and kick that can down the street. You're a procrastinator. People that procrastinate don't believe in their own power. They're making the situation worse instead of handling it when they had a chance. And that's why I'm having these conversations. I'm talking about handling things that you know you can handle. It's cold up here. And to know that you have handles for these things called life. Just like Bruce Lee said, it's not just to be praying for an easy life. You know what I mean? You don't want to pray for an easy life. You want to have skill sets. And you want to have some skills, just like I said the other day. Everybody's like, it's a passion over paycheck. Yeah, for sure. You want to have hobbies, but don't you want to work a skill? Ikagi. All the Japanese people, all they do since they rise every morning is perfect their lives. And that's attributed to making a better product, or inventing something no one's ever seen before, or practicing that skill set that you know is your skill set, right? Not my skill set. Dunking's not my skill set. I don't know how to dunk. You know what I mean? I thought about it the other day. It's like, I wouldn't be in the Navy because it's just not in my skill set. I don't have boats in my family. I don't have nautical skills, right? I don't belong on the water. I know how to swim, but for as far as like navigation and the stars and the waves, no clue. Out of my wheelhouse. And that's what we do. We get kind of further from our skill set, further from our families, further from our resources than ever before. We're strung out. And that's why you're like that. You're like that because you're probably far away from your family. You know, you're like that because you're susceptible to your own, what's it called? Your own, impulses, right? And these things guide us. That's what it came up with, Saints Addiction. You're like, why am I like this? Why am I chasing drugs instead of hugs? Well, there were no hugs available. And for people that are stressed and you feel that way, you know, you're going to look for instant relief. You're going to look for like some headache medicine or some pain-free medicine. You're going to look for something to ease that pain. And that makes us all human. We all want to be pain-free, you know, and out of stress and have all the solutions and never have a headache. And I think that by identifying them as headaches instead of lessons, we already are kind of setting ourselves up for a little bit of failure. You know, everyone has to pass the fucking Zelda. You know, we got to get past these little levels, these skill sets. That's another plane. I don't know if you guys can see it. Is that a sea plane? I don't know. Will it let me zoom in? Maybe. Can you see a plane right there? Yeah. Oh, did it go? There it is. Can you see it? Can you see the plane right there? Like a big old seaplane. If I can see it that big, that's a fucking military plane, homie. And that's Vegas down there. Plenty of people that are chasing things like loneliness. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can still see that plane, but it's still fucking right there, going over the horizon of fucking Vegas. You know, and people are down there gambling their asses off. You know what I mean? Lonely as fuck. I was talking about your girl Marie Antoinette and how she was lonely, bro. You're in this Versailles castle and all the cake you want to eat and no one to talk to, you know. And that's why she started to go throw lavish parties and started gambling. And I think about like my aunt and other people, older ladies that start gambling because they're lonely, or dudes that go to bars and start drinking because they're lonely. Why are you like that? And you're like, well, shit, man, I need some excitement. I got to get out of my house. I got to get out of my mind. I got to get out of this feeling. And for those of us that chase impulses, that means we usually are chasing our feelings. And then you're like, oh shit, I want to fucking chase this dragon for the rest of my life, and go, why am I not feeling right? Why is it not okay? Why is it not better? And you're going to be all up in your head instead of doing something active, right? Like practicing the skill set, Ikagi, sharpening that axe. We worry. We just spin the wheel. There's no axe to sharpen. There's no axe to grind. There's no project to work on. Idle hands become devil's playground, and then in our minds, they don't become safe. It doesn't become safe for us in our side of our minds because we feel like that's suffering, that's a headache, that's all pain. And it's just like, maybe it's an obstacle course. Maybe it's a signal for you to fucking break free from mental slavery, or for people that are abusive, or people that don't know how to process their own emotions. And this is why we have to have this conversation. It's just like, for a healthy individual, you know, healed people heal people. And for the other ones, they're going to drag you down. It's what it is. They don't know how to process this life of pain. And you're just like, is it always pain? It's your perspective. Right? If it was a lesson, you'd be on some, okay, I can handle this. If it's just pain, then you're going to perceive it as personalized and attacking you and only you. And like I said yesterday, it's not just you. You know, it's not just you. It's all of us. All of us have something where today's task, today's obstacle course, today's lesson was teaching me to say, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, I can learn that. You know, thank you for slowing my life down to be like, okay, you need to learn patience right now, or you need to learn how to handle your frustration, or you need pain tolerance. And you're just like, oh, good. It helps to be like, okay, it's not as worse as everyone else. There are people in third world countries. There's people in Africa. There's people that are hungry and starving. They have no uplink. So why am I bitching? And then it goes to the excuse channel where I was walking up Machu Picchu and the dude had one leg and he was lapping me. And I'm like, he's climbing this mountain with one leg. What's my excuse? And that's why I have these conversations with people all the time. It's just like, we're using excuses. We're using outlets. We're running from the lesson. And I'm like, don't skip the homework, homie. You know, I had my homie ask me the other day, and he was just like, it's hard working with you. Only if you're not doing your homework. And I've known him since high school. He never loved doing homework. He was fucking Richie Rich. He had daddy's Robux putting them up. And I'm like, man, when you have to earn it, when you have to do the work, then you know you have the skill set to do it. You don't have to worry about someone else or outsource it or rely on someone else, because you know how to do it. And that's what I taught myself. Photoshop, or taught myself about the print industry, or taught myself editing videos. You know, video in an hour's coming out. Intersect.ai, we're all working on AI stuff, and it's like, this AI features can edit videos now in seconds, and build sites in seconds, and apps in seconds, and all these things we're supposed to take weeks, months, hours, lives. And you're like, nope, I'm gonna do it here in a second. And then in an hour after I add my logo and I add all my fucking shit, now it's up and running. Now it's fucking done. Zodiacs on shirts, shirts for babies. What else did I just put up? Lyrics on shirts, scriptures on shirts, you know, cats on shirts, dogs on shirts. I put them all up because the hard work's getting done. Now that we got the Dream Launcher, it's like, why sit around? Dude, there's another plane. That's crazy. These things are looking big, bro. That's a Southwest plane, though. I kind of see like an orange tail, but you know, I'm not alone in it. You know, like I said, I went through some own stress of it, and you know, shit happens, and We're going to go through it, but, I wanted to grow through it, not go through it. I wanted to understand why my situation was like that. And that's how I started this journey. Shout out to Roken Vapes. Mention Saints Addiction for 15% off. We're going to token a Roken real quick. So I started my spiritual journey down here with my spiritual mentor, Terry Prince. And he was teaching me that, that's the Bar Pro. It's like a chain. A little Davitry here. Was teaching me that worrying wasn't going to change the outcome, right? That, like that freak out, that anxiety that was ratcheting me up wasn't helpful or useful. And me, I'm so much pain at 22 years old. I'm like, bro, it's not making no sense to me. I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. It's overstimulating my brain. It's shutting me down. My bills are due. I need to tell my brain my bills are due. And in that anxiety that it's supposed to help. And he was like, what will happen will happen. You've made it this far. And thus you discount yourself. Every month somehow you find a way to pay the rent, but every month somehow you find a way to stress about it. And it's just like, even if it was taken from you, you still find a way. Still find a way to travel the world with no money. Still find a way to sleep in my car if I have to. Take showers at the fucking gym. We all do. Another plan, no super doubt. We all do. We all stretch ourselves to the limit and then wonder why there's a limit. And it was just like, why stress it? Why push it to this level where it's nothing but anxiety and fear? Why push yourself to a position where you're not even in position anymore? You literally just left the position, your best decision, when you were calm and sitting there and watching the chessboard, right? You probably sat there quiet enough to fucking make it happen. And then all of a sudden you got stressed the fuck out and then repivoted because you were, again, like wanting to go to the bar, right? Like you were just wanting to go see the bartender because you're lonely. Instead of getting a girlfriend, instead of hitting on the chick that you like, instead of putting in the effort, everybody wants a motherfucking quick fix. And that's why we're having this conversation this morning. It's like you skipped some shit. You skipped the lesson. You skipped homework, and you forgot to say that, okay, I compromise my wealth, my health, and my confidence to just go to a bar and just drink my way through it, or try to get another girl inebriated and pay her drink so that maybe she might like me or hang around me. And then now we're all influenced. You're like, why are you like that? Odds are you probably hang out. Birds of a feather flock together. Odds are you found someone that does the drugs that you like. Most people, especially like heroin and shit, scary because like they learn it from someone else that they are making love to, woman and man. And you're just like, oh fuck, dude, it's the blind leading the blind. Why are you like that? You didn't know that you needed a hug. Instead, you found somebody that does the same drug. And then it's just like, oh shit, how did I get there? How did I start stealing things? Well, what were those kids doing? They were peer pressuring me. And in that peer pressure, I succumbed to making those kind of decisions instead of plastic pocket challenge, instead of going like, oh, if I was around my family, or if I was around college students, or if I was doing the things that I was supposed to do, I wouldn't act this way, right? I wouldn't even be hanging out with these people today, right? I'm sure that kid that shot that dude, if he didn't have his health injury, his parents, he would have just lived a happy, healthy, happy life and just keep it pushing. But unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of things that push us. And I'm hoping it doesn't push you into a bad decision. I'm hoping that it doesn't push you on a bad square or a bad chess move. The worst thing to do is to drop pieces when you're playing chess, and worst thing to do is to drop the piece that's you. And that's where I'm really having this conversation. It's like, it's not just you as yesterday, today. Why are you like this? It's like, we're all like this, They'll find a way to capitalize on our loneliness. They'll find a way to take our money for health insurance and deny and depose and deflect. They'll find a way to antagonize you and instigate you and get you fired up for the things that you weren't even focused on. That's called a distraction. And we'll find a way to distract ourselves too. Can't wait to smoke some weed. Can't wait to fucking watch some Netflix or, me, YouTube. Hey, I'm guilty too. So I was just like, I find myself putting that phone down and go, you don't have time to watch why Outkast broke up, and then you had enough time to watch why the Black Eyed Peas broke up, and then of course who else broke up? All these bands, or learn about the slave trade, or Marie Antoinette, or what else have I learned recently? Or whatever was in my head. Oh, the Falkland Islands and how that all happened. Like the rabbit holes are real. The distractions, they're an illusion. The waste of time is accurate because that's the only asset that we have, and that's why they trade it for money. Fuck, they did slavery. They almost didn't trade it for anything. It was just capture your energy and make you do what they needed to do. And that's what I wanted to be on this side of Saints Addiction, was to be succumb to my addictions and be a slave to my addictions, but for them to work for me. The OCD when I'm cleaning, or focusing on a product or the business, it works for me, and then it works against me if I'm obsessing about a girl or what's going wrong or why we didn't communicate properly. Then it's all in my head all day instead of business, right? Being personal instead of business, or personalizing instead of customizing, or wearing it instead of I wore it. I don't need to wear a bad attitude. I don't need that shit. Neither do you. You know what I mean? We should all be having a smile on our face constantly, and in gratitude instead of stress. And this is what's happening to all of us. It's just like an epidemic that as soon as you chase the money, it's the greed, and you swear that if you chase this thing, it's gonna ease the pain, right? And that's why even your boy it was so cool to see Mike Tyson look over at that dude's Emmanuel or whatever that dude's name. He's a Middle Eastern dude, and he's always talking about money. His fear is that if he doesn't have money, he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have a life, he doesn't have kids, everything goes. And he's just kind of a fearful dude. He talks a lot like that way. And Mike Tyson's looking at him and he's like, you should know that, just because you don't have the money doesn't make you happy. And homeboy was kind of like, but he wasn't absorbing it. Same like me when I was just like, yo, bro, I got to pay my bills. Terry Prince, I got bills to pay. My little spiritual mentor. I don't know if you're a shaman. Can you shake your little stick over my bills and make them disappear? And literally was like, can you not fear and believe in yourself and stop fucking trying to fucking dodge and evade shit? Yeah, I know I'm the one who smokes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, it's hard pressing this button. It's cold out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm always looking at the backside. And that's what it is. You're gonna believe in yourself or believe in fear. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I choose the demons that I believe in. And I choose the gods that I believe in. And I choose to believe in hope over fear. I choose to believe in love instead of hate. I choose to not participate when people infight or personalize or get all insulted. And I'm just like, oh, that looks like a lot of waste of energy. It just does. It looks like a lot of waste of energy to me, and that I don't have time for. I don't have the mental time for it. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I'll be damned if I'm going to waste any more of my day or my life or my time on something that's going to have an alibi and be like, oh, I was there, bro. And you're like, I was so frustrated. It was like poison. I was pissed at you. And then you didn't even know I was pissed at you. Like, oh, fuck. Trying to not see people. I just apologize. And the one girl I haven't seen since high school reunion, and she blew me off and owed me an apology, but I apologized. And she's like, thanks. And I was just like, you got nothing back? No accountability? And guess who's still egotistical? Guess who's still too much? And guess who still can't function as a regular adult? That's right, Vicky Ray. That's you, dude. And I was just like, wow. Some of us could grow up. We're almost 45 years old, half of our life expectancy. You'd think you'd be free with the apologies, and then you're not, and you're like, oh shit. Why am I not like that? Well, shit, probably because your parents are like that. Do they apologize when they bump into you or do wrong by you? Or are they quick with the apologies? And odds are you probably got manners. And then if you're not so egotistical, if you're not in competition, if you're not trying to be the awesomest of all people, right, then you're more human, right? There's that humanity, that humble pie that we all got to eat sometimes, man. And that's what it's been. And I learned that in prison. And I was watching these prisoners that 1,000 miles, and it was just so true. He was like, I spent all my life being angry, hating people, being a neo-Nazi. It just drains all your energy. Then that's all you eat is hate. And then all you do is participate. And haters make me famous, man. I don't want to fucking dwell on why someone doesn't like me. Tough titties, you don't like me? Next, man. You know? What your boy Kevin Gates said? Go where you're celebrated and appreciated. You know what I mean? Like if you know, instead of tolerated. You want to go someplace where you're celebrated instead of tolerated, bro. And that's what Traveled by Saints is, bro. When I wear everybody out here and it starts getting cold, Thailand calls me and everybody's like, yo, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? It's about to happen. It's about to happen. And I'm like, I know, bro. I know. And that's what I got to do. I got to go where I am celebrated and my energy is reciprocated and people are on the same wavelength and same vibe instead of on that lies and infighting and blaming and stress and hating and usually cigarette smoking and pessimistic and not understanding. And most of us do that. We speak to be heard instead of to understand. So what you're telling me, and I said, why are you like this? So what you're telling me is, or what I'm telling you is, you are like this because of emotions. Yeah, and a lack of regulating emotions makes us a less human being. You want to be a higher human being, literally higher. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to learn self-control. And anybody that can control their mind, you say you can suffer as long as you choose to, hit me so hard. I was just like, wow, bro, that's why I'm like that. I learned that from my parents. I learned that from my environment. And I've learned to keep it that way, to keep my responses chaotic and to be easily instigated and fight things and jump in and be someone's huckleberry and not even know their name. No, thank you. You got me mistaken for somebody that's not building an empire in a sec.ai, that hasn't been working on his brands, has got some bigger fish to fry. That's just peanuts to an elephant. And that's just what I tell you. So whatever's stressing you out today, realize it's not going to stay, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 months, 5 years from now. No one will even know. Fuck, even from planets, because we're so small, no one even knows. This planet doesn't care, that sun, and all the other planets, it doesn't care what we're doing here. What I do care is that you live and not in fear, that you live fully, so that way you can accept all of life's blessings and lessons and experience it. It's a full fucking sport, bro. It's a full contact sport, this thing called life. And I want everybody to get their gloves on and protect themselves at all times. Yep. Check that view out. Yeah. So that's your morning motivation. Hit that energy. If you get anything out of this, you got to like, share, subscribe below. But that's what I do, bro. Get this phone on, finish the show. I got some work to do, but fuck, it's cold. But it's cold. As my pimp moves, So I'm gonna get going. That's your boy Marky Saint. Peace and love. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side. As soon as you like, share, subscribe, buy some Saint slides. Boop. Buy some Saint shades. Boop. Saint sides. Saint shades. Saints Addiction skull cap. I got you. Just comment below and we grow. Also, don't forget to join Weed Club. Join, not joint. Join, Join, and I know you know how to spell weed, and I know you know how to spell club. Join Weed Club on Instagram. Stoner Information Worldwide. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I'm from Vegas. It's your boy Marky Sate, the Las Vegas original, on Instagram as well. Say goodbye, Vegas. Bye, Vegas. I'm gonna see if you can see the stratosphere from here. I'll zoom in. Say bye, Vegas. Bye, Las Vegas.